What do you think it is we can actually do to better support the American worker in the next 3.5 years?
We can't continue to have policies that encourage companies actually to move their jobs overseas. I think we need to have a real debate and be focused on the reindustrialization of America. There's twice as many people that work in government now than are in manufacturing. And that is a consequence of terrible policy that's been pushed by career level bureaucrats and a Democrat party that has abandoned working people. I mean, you got to remember when I was growing up, the Democrats felt like they had the high ground with working people and they could cast Republicans as only caring about corporate America and the wealthy. That's just not true anymore. I think from an economic perspective, certainly from a cultural perspective, you just look at a lot of these debates, the Democrats have totally lost their minds. And nothing could be more clear than the immigration issue. They completely opened up our border to 20 million people unvetted, and they're perfectly fine with it. The left wing radicals that were writing white papers a decade ago somehow found their way into the Oval Office with a president who was out to lunch effectively or was totally bought into this for legacy purposes. You saw people stream in across the border with crime, with fentanyl. It affected communities. Communities were overrun with those problems. And when President Trump started talking about this immigration issue a decade ago, talk about the Overton window, he changed the debate and he made the issue about sovereignty, about really a fight for our civilization, for a country. You know, this is a country that's founded on really important ideas, but we're a nation and we're a people. This isn't just some economic zone, it's our home. And I think if you have that frame of mind, the fight seems much more relevant and important. I just think about it where I grew up. Like my dad worked 7 days a week in the midnight shift. The guys that I grew up around playing baseball, their dads were factory workers, or they drove a truck, or they were cops, or they were firefighters, really the backbone of our communities. And I think if Republicans keep that in mind, that's who we're fighting for. You know, it's good policy, but we're also going to keep winning and expanding this new coalition that President Trump put together in the last election that allowed him to win the popular vote and sweep the battleground states. So I'm bullish on sort of where we're headed here, but you've got to have the courage, I think, to stand up and fight.